supporting senior citizens, and I'm like, we're all lined up to see Joe Biden. You can't be more supportive. Yeah. Thank God they closed Barb when Joe was here, because like if he ate a bite of Barb food, that might do it. that might actually kill him. And also thank God that he didn't come here on an actual school day, because if he saw what went on an actual school day is here, he'd be like, I'm not forgiving y'all's loans, y'all paid for that shit. Yeah, I'm excited. I've never seen like so many fucking Democrats in one place. It's just refreshing. Like, just cause I'm from Louisiana, and I'm from the deep South. I'm from the All Lives Matter South. And is anyone else from the South here? Anyone?
Maryland, so Virginia.
Is anyone else from the real South?
I'm from Virginia. Does that count?
Half counts. I feel like half of y'all are racist. That would be great. Jesus. Yeah. Man, this is the most weirdly distributed crowd I've ever done stand-up for. Do y'all smell that or something? No, but I'm really excited. This is an exciting day because we just got this new video. We're going to be doing this in the Black Squirrel now. We're not going to be in the Tisworth Lecture Hall anymore. That's fucking exciting. Yeah. But anyway, people like Virginia, that counts. But like I'm just saying, people from the South. You probably get it. You get that being from the South, it's conflicting. Because, you probably don't miss the conservatism, but you probably do miss your food being seasoned. And it's conflicting. I can't go on Tinder in the South anymore, because too many of the people I'm attracted to, I'll swipe like 2 photos into their profile, and they'll be posing all sexy with a Trump flag in the background, like... It's conflicting. You ever had a Tinder date asking to go hunting? What kind of date is that? What would that even look like? First of all, does an animal need to die in order for us to hook up? What would the date even look like? She shows up in her fucking giant big pickup truck that her dad bought for her, and I show up in my Honda fucking hybrid. She would have to provide the gun. I don't have a gun. We could share the gun. That could be kind of romantic, I guess. Oh man, we're gonna need a little more energy than this, y'all, for the show. We got some comedians here tonight. We got some good ones here tonight. Yeah, being from the South, it's conflicting. You see a lot of shit you like. You see a lot of shit you don't like. I was on a plane going from New York back home to Louisiana, and yeah. This was like a year ago, and as soon as the wheels leave the ground, as soon as the plane takes off, this guy starts talking on his cell phone, and he kind of sounds like let me see if I can remember. He sounds like yeah, motherfucker, I'm taking my shit and I'm getting the fuck back home. What the fuck is up with you? And right in the seat in front of him is a mom and her like 9 or 10-year-old kid, her 9 or 10-year-old son, and this mom does not look very pleased about the situation. And it's at this point I decided to take my AirPods out. Because keep in mind, this was right after COVID. I was locked up for like a year and a half. I hope some shit goes down. This is how I know things are getting back to normal. Everyone else is kind of starting to pay attention now. And everyone's kind of wondering what this mom is going to do. And she stands up out of her seat, and she looks at the seat behind her where the guy's at. And she goes, "Sir, there are children on this plane." Now, there's a moment of silence when she says this. It feels like it's a minute long. It's tense. It's suspenseful. Is some dramatic shit gonna go down? Is some fun shit gonna happen? Everyone's holding their breath as this dude calmly hangs up his phone, looks up at the lady, and goes, "Bitch, don't tell me what to do!" Yes! Yes! Airplane fights are back, baby! Like they never I start laughing. The 9-year-old kid starts laughing. We're both cracking up. The flight attendants start laughing. We're all cracking up as this dude just goes off on this kid's mom. He starts talking about, bitch, you can't tell me what to do. You can't tell me anything. This is a free fucking country. Classic line, by the way. Free fucking country. And, the mom, she's trying to fire back. She's like, you can't just curse anywhere you want. She's outmatched. She can't do anything about it. This dude is going off. And you know what? Up until this point, most of the people on the plane have kind of sided with the mom, because they don't want to condone a guy cursing loudly on the plane. But that kind of all changes. There's a bit of a plot twist. This mom, a middle-aged Southern white lady, says to a black man, "You're back in the South now, boo-boo."
Oh, Jesus. Yikes. Oh, Jesus.
That's kind of when everyone starts to shift sides. everyone kind of looks around like, ooh, I don't like the connotations of that. But you know what? This guy's a badass. He doesn't need our help. He doesn't need our backup. You know what he says? He goes, "Shut the fuck up. You don't pay my fucking phone bill." Yeah. Anyway, that's a story I'm working on. Still working on. All right. So, are you already for y'all's first comedian? We got a few. I'm pretty excited. I'm excited to hear some of them. Some of them, not all of them. You know who you are. No, but you already for y'all's first comedian. Keep it up. One more. Hey, our first comedian is Molly. She's hilarious. Come on, Molly.
If you need a gun, call me.
Okay. I like your shirt.
Thank you. It's fun to get real. Alright. Attention, citizens! This is about me now. I have the mic, and I've been feeling shitty lately, so I've decided to make it everyone else's problem. Let me start over. I have impeccable taste, in everything, fashion kinda, makeup kinda, food, literature. The one, tally that I've got against myself is that I also am attracted to fucking men.
Feeling there, sis.
Nuance here. I don't like them, I'm attracted to them.
Important distinction.
Important, yes. Boys, all 4 of you, before you get all get your panties in twists, just calm down. I feel the same way about everyone. But here's the thing that I don't want men to feel targeted here, but don't get cocky, ladies, don't be like them. But as a woman, I understand where you're coming from when you're being a dick. I know that when Kayla is passive aggressive about my bangs, it's because one time she was on a date with some guy and he told her that she looked like Cousin It and she never recovered. And for those of you who don't necessarily identify as men or women, well then you're kind of getting in the way of my broad sweeping generalizations. But you have enough shit on your plate as it is, so I'm just gonna leave you alone. Now men, I just don't understand why. Because from what I understand, coming into it, yourself as a man, you're growing up, you're a 13-year-old boy, the world's just looking at you well, welcome to manhood, It's like childhood, just no repercussions, like Home Alone, if the mom got trafficked and never came back and the movie never ended. When that is what your world is, what is your excuse to just be horrible to people? I hate a lot of stuff about men, but one thing that I'm gonna fixate on, gentlemen, because I don't want to shit on you, I want to help you, I want to give you a tip, is Axe body spray. Yeah, that's right. I'm being helpful. This is necessary because who the fuck told you that anyone, let alone women, would be attracted to Axe body spray? Seriously, did one of us over the age of 15 mislead you? Where is she so I can ice that bitch? This one time I was on a date with a man. Mistake. But I'm, having a standard first hinge date. that kind of thing. Talking, and I noticed, like, 5 minutes into the date, that he's, like, staring at my ass. Which is fine, you know, whatever. But it wasn't the fact that he was staring at it, it was the way in which he was staring at it. Because he was looking at my ass with, like, a steady gaze, but it wasn't like, this is nice, I wish to inspect this further. It was kind of like the look on his face was so concentrated, and yet it was the emotion that I would have if I found out that I was being served to jury duty. Like, I was just staring at my letter like, this seems like a perfectly good waste of a day off of work. But whatever, so I'm going on for 20 minutes, and still staring at my ass, and then finally he looks at me and he goes, are you one of those people who has to be talking all the time? Or can you just enjoy the silence? Yeah. 20 minutes into the first date! I'm sitting here like, oh my god, all these stupid first date questions, like, oh my god, you work with kids? I can never do that. And he's in this mind's face of like, shut the fuck up, bitch, I'm looking at your jury duty ass. And as if that wasn't bad enough, because you know what? Bad dates happen, whatever. I wouldn't have held it against him. But then he goes in to end it with a side hug, and I catch a whiff of Axe body spray. What the fuck? Here's the thing that pissed me off the most about that, is the complete lack of effort on his end of things. Because, like, I respected him enough as a human that I had, like, waxed and, like, shaved everything the night before just in case. And I'd, like, wrestled my teeth into a push-up bra, which is a Herculean task, by the way. Like, this does not just happen. And this good-for-nothing son of a bitch rolled out of bed that day, presumably reeking of weed and mildly hungover, and rather than taking a shower like an adult, decided to douse himself in Axe body spray to cover up the scent of his man ick with the scent of a 13-year-old boy's gym bag. You know who would wear Axe body spray? And who I want you guys to aspire to be like? Gentlemen. Whenever you're like about to do something gross like that, here's what you gotta do. Just ask yourself, what would Jesus do? In fairness, like I didn't, this is gonna sound a little contrived because when I wrote this bit, I was having writer's block, so I just like started throwing darts at a board covered in things that would piss me off when I was Catholic. But actually, like I have a point because Jesus would have been a great lover. Woo! Okay, let me explain, because it's not like I just walked into like a Catholic mass and up on the wall there's like a statue of an emaciated blonde. No. I thought about this and I like used the Bible for my argument, which so many people seem to love for some reason. And you guys, biblical Jesus is kind of my type. Except not a horrible person. Pretty standard, just like unwashed, long hair, and like probably circumcised. And not a complete asshole. Like, think about it, all the good stuff. Like, this is a 30-something-year-old man with 12 male friends. Even if he's tried to fuck half of them, he's doing better than like everyone I've ever dated. And he's also friends with a former sex worker. What? And he has the relationship with his mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he has like a carpenter who can like build IKEA furniture. It's just crazy. Like, if you ask me, the miraculous thing about Jesus Christ of Nazareth wasn't like the whole Son of God thing, or like the waters are wide, we're walking on water, or why was there so much stuff with water? I don't know, desert. But like, the biggest thing is that he was a man who could do the bare minimum and didn't wear fucking Axe body spray.
favorite thing? Knocking over mic stands?
Yeah, mildly inconveniencing you.
That I know that's your favorite thing. Anyway, man, the turnout just gets lower and lower, huh? Molly, you chased away like half the crowd. What the fuck?
You're welcome.
Anyway, look, hey, y'all staying through it. I respect that. I respect y'all for standing in the front row in a light show. That takes bravery. It takes a lot. You still have the mask on too.
Yes.
That's another choice. I see you have the mask on. I don't know. It makes me more nervous when I see just like one person wearing a mask. I'm like, what do you know that I don't? Anyway, are you ready for y'all's next comedian? Y'all ready? Hey, so the next comedian, we're going biblical. Noah, get up here.
So glad that's how people know. Alright, so the water in my dorm turned brown this week. I'm glad this is a universal experience. I turned on the tap and it was like I had tapped into Willy Wonka's chocolate factory and got Augustus gruesome plumbing. Sarah Lawrence College, everybody. $80,000 of tuition well spent. You know, I do shit on Sarah Lawrence a lot, but honestly, I feel like I wouldn't really fit in anywhere else. I went to a party this week, and one of my friends dressed up as sexy John Milton. You know, the character from the hit teen novel Paradise Lost. And that combination of nerdiness and homosexuality just really makes me feel at home. Honestly, though, it is a little funny saying I went to a party at Sarah Lawrence, because I feel like the phrase Sarah Lawrence party is an oxymoron. Like, when I think of a party at Sarah Lawrence, I don't think of loud music and beer bongs, I think of drinking wine and talking shit about Crystal. If the night gets really wild, maybe we pull out the yarn and crochet hooks. Sarah Lawrence just isn't a party school, and it's not even our fault. You know, everyone at the school is so heavily medicated that we'd all die of an overdose if we tried to throw a rager. One thing a lot of people here talk about is the Sarah Lawrence pipeline. You know, the idea that anyone who comes to this school cisgender will not leave this school cisgender. And I heard that and I was like, I don't know. Anyway, it's been 2 months and I use he, they pronouns. The pipeline is real. Honestly though, me using he, they was really just like, it was a long time coming, because this might shock you. I'm not the most masculine guy out there. So honestly, you know, this is just a matter of time. And the thing is, I don't really get masculinity. Like, I just don't understand it. Serious question. What the fuck is an alpha male? I genuinely, it sounds...
you'll find out.
Like, it sounds like a character from Game of Thrones. Like, I am alpha male of the house toxic masculinity, and the only thing I fear is a woman on her period. But, you know, I was morbidly curious, so I looked it up, which, by the way, is terrifying. I opened a private browser because I was worried Google was going to track my searches and send a Trump hat directly to me. If my roommate had walked in and asked what I was doing, I would have just said watching porn. Like, it's less embarrassing than the truth. But I did find the results. Here's what I found, and I'll quote. An alpha male is dominant, charming, and has command over others in a group setting. Now look, maybe I'm biased because I'm a queer man, but that is the gayest shit I've ever heard. You want to dominate over men? Okay. You know, I feel like my grandpa would call himself an alpha male if he knew how to use the internet. My grandpa's very old man charming, and by that I mean he's really good at making misogyny seem funny. And, you know, when I turned 13, he decided that I was a man now, and it was time to start teaching me the family business. Grandson, he said to me, my father was a misogynist, and I am a misogynist, and one day you too will be a misogynist. And I said, but Grandpa, I don't want to be a misogynist. I think women are people. And he wasn't having any of that. So he decided he had to take me to the floor of the misogyny factory to show me just how lucrative the misogyny business could be. So we went to Hooters. Look, I'm all for bonding with my relatives, but my idea of bonding is not ogling Hooters waitresses with my 70-year-old grandfather. I hated it. I sat there awkwardly until he finally let us leave, and he was a little pissed, but like, what the fuck was he expecting? my awkward 13-year-old acne-ridden ass just elbow him to the side and go, "Yo, Grandpa, look at the rack on that one." But I had enough. I decided there was no way I was joining the family business. "Grandpa," I said, "the world is evolving, times are changing, people are more progressive, and misogyny just isn't profitable anymore, and I want to join a profitable business. And now I'm a liberal arts major, so maybe Grandpa is right."
Keep it going for Noah, keep it going. Now, y'all, recently, I was looking up dildo molds
Okay.
for reasons that are none of your business.
Hey Reuben, quick question. What deodorant are you wearing right now?
Old Spice, Wolfthorn. The Wolfthorn, scent of confidence. Anyway, recently, I was looking up dildo molds. And apparently, a problem that can happen when you're making a dildo mold is you can just go flaccid while the thing is molding.
Yes.
So,
My ex had that problem.
your ex?
Yeah.
When did your ex have this problem?
It was a big thing.
Oh wait, oh okay. So
Oh,
not
no,
when he was
not like
making
that.
the dildo. I
that.
was about to get into that.
It was
Holy.
relatively average size.
Do you want to come up and get on this mic and tell us more about your ex's penis? I wouldn't mind it.
Okay, goddamn. I
Okay.
have nothing prepared. Hello, everybody. I was not planning this, and I was just heckling, and now I'm up here. So,
This didn't go how you thought it would, did it?
no, I just wanted attention, and now I've got different attention type that I wanted. So, Maya, if you're watching this, go fuck yourself and both your girlfriends that you found 5 weeks after me.
I'm kind of disappointed that it wasn't while I was making a dildo mold. I'm sorry. Anyway, huh? One of those stories.
No.
I didn't hear what you said. Anyway, but yeah, that's a problem that can happen. And fucking imagine getting a dildo in the mail that looked like Squidward's nose. Imagine if it was uncircumcised too, it's just like a dangling alligator claw. Anyway, this is going off the rails here. You already feel next comedian? Hey, don't worry. So your next comedian is a German fella. But don't worry, this is the fun kind. All right, Henrik, get up here. Henrik!
Hello everyone, I'm back! Oh, you missed me!
Yeah.
Alright, let's talk about drugs and alcohol. I don't understand them. I don't get them. I always get a little bit nervous when I say that because, I want to sound cool. I don't want you all to think I'm a loser. I don't want you all to think that I'm that kind of guy that's like, yeah, no, I don't drink because my mommy says that if I do that even once, I'm going to wake up pregnant and I'll be stuck in a life I don't want, with a husband I don't want, and a baby boy I want to throw in the oven. I don't want to sound like that, right? But, it also, I just don't understand the appeal. Like, I'm sure someone in this audience is an alcoholic. Once you get out of it. You, yes, I'm sorry, raise your hand. What do you get out of drinking?
Oh, not prickly depression.
Not to be, okay, that's so much darker than I expected for a stand-up comedy show. But no, that's fair, okay, that's fair. I can respect the decision there. I'm not judging you for this. God will do that for me. I'm joking, I'm agnostic, it's fine. But no, seriously, I do not get alcohol. I don't drink, I never have, never intend to. I have, however, done drugs. Yeah. Okay, yeah. At the beginning of the summer, I was going through a breakup, and I thought to myself, you know what? If there's ever going to be a time to try drugs, this is it. Forget about her. Let's get wild. So I signed up for a paid medical study at the University of Chicago. And Listen, I know I could have gone to Shady Keith in the back alley, but I wanted my first time on drugs to be in a controlled, scientific environment. Because I wanted to be safe, right? So I went there, and they gave me a little capsule, and I ate the capsule, and about an hour later, I felt my bones start to rise up in my body. Like, ooh, like my skeleton got like 50% lighter. I felt like the house from Up. I was like, whoa, Paradise Falls, here we come. I did not like Paradise Falls. I did not have fun with Paradise Falls. You know, it was fine. It was a fine experience, but I got bored, and I wanted to read my book, and I couldn't read my book because my bones are floating, and there was a talking dog and a bird trying to eat tennis balls. And oh, wait, hang on. No, that's right. And this is when things got messy. Because, you know, I went there, and I was not allowed to eat or drink anything beforehand, because I had to do a drug test when I got there, because they didn't want me doing drugs. Ex post facto, I guess. Right? So I had not eaten anything, and they gave me a box full of granola bars after the drugs that I could eat, right? Granola bars. Which, on an empty stomach, are laxatives. And they brought me downstairs to the MRI, and I thought I'm probably fine. But then I was in a metal tube for an hour while a squadron of fecal matter tried to force its way outside my asshole. And they were, you know, scanning my brain for drug stuff, but I swear to God, all they were picking up was stress, 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 as I grappled with the imminent possibility of turning millions of dollars worth of medical equipment into a monochromatic Jackson Pollock. But thankfully, I got out of the tube, and the slowest walk back to the room, like, yeah, no, Lawrence is great, I love it, I know I'm in a classics film, can you please, for the love of God, work faster, you son of a bitch! And we got back to the room, and I said, hey, can I use the bathroom real quick? And he said, yeah, sure, go ahead. So I ran into the bathroom, shut the door. First thing I did was pull down my pants within around my trousers because it was coming out. And you don't want to hear this, but I, you know, made my way to the bathroom, pants on my ankles, sat in the toilet, and it was already snaking out my ass. Got in the toilet, no ground under the pants, no ground on the floor. I went out feeling good. I didn't need to shit anymore. I burned off all the drugs through adrenaline. I was doing great. And I walked back in, and they're like, hey, we're done with the test now. Do you want to know what was going on? And I said, yes, I do. And they said, do you want to know what drug we gave you? And I said, yes, we do. Yes, I do. And they said, we gave you methamphetamine. And I want to be clear, the most illicit substance I had had at this point was the blood of Christ. I was a little slugger, and suddenly I was batting for the major leagues. And you know what I did while I was high on methamphetamine? I went to a job interview. Because that was the smart thing to do. Yeah, let's do drugs in the morning and pencil in, become a productive member of the workforce in the afternoon. Because fuck me, I guess. So I showed up and I was like, okay, gotta calm the body, right? And I just started cursing my pursing lips, and I could not stop for the love of God, just. And I thought to myself, oh my God, I'm gonna wake up pregnant. Thank you so much, everyone.
Keep it going for him. I love the interview so far. Y'all are bringing it, and I appreciate it. And you know what? I get that, you know, we're a liberal campus and we're all nice to each other, but fuck it, we need to re-normalize making fun of how people look.
Yes.
God damn it. Because, you know what, I'm gonna be honest.
You with the palm tree pants.
Huh?
We can start with you in your palm tree pants.
I know. Here's the thing. I'm aware. I'm aware of what I look like. All right? I'm aware that I look like a combination of every guy I didn't like in high school. I know I could conceivably pass as one of the bully's friends in Karate Kid. I know that I look like the president of the Young Republicans Club who's going to come up with gay on Instagram in 10 years. I'm aware. I know. All right? And you know who's also, I don't know where I was going with that. Anyway, I was the next comedian's coming up. Their name is Max. They're really funny. They're hilarious. They're legends. They're coming up to the stage right now. Keep going for Max, y'all.
Man, what a day. I was walking down the Bates, I forget, whatever. I'm tired and grumpy. It's fine. Anyway, I was walking down the Bates Hill, coming over here, and I saw a big pile of ZD right by the sidewalk. I'm like, damn, rest in ZD. So, have you ever been too high for Forever 21? Because I have. I think with the invention of weed pens, they're kind of like a good and a bad thing, like mostly bad, honestly. It hasn't improved my life. But one thing that I do like is I go to the mall and I whip out my pen right between Jamba Juice and some fucking corn dog place. Who the fuck eats corn dogs? We've gone too far as a society. It shouldn't be this easy to get really stoned really fast, right in front of small children. But I may be thinking, Max, why don't you just not do that? Maybe you don't bring your weed pen into the mall. I know. But I'm a rebel, Rebels do things. Rebels rule the world. Steve Jobs, he's dead. Amelia Earhart crashed her plane, probably. There's El Chapo, no. Jesus was a rebel. Shout out to Jesus. Anyway, one other thing about today. Seeing Chuck Schumer. Wasn't the leatheriest senator I've ever seen. About 6 months ago, I was walking back home in the Hartford airport, and I saw Richard Blumenthal, Connecticut senator, and one word, or actually 2 words, beef jerky. Anyway, I got off track. Back to the story. I got too high in the mall, and my friend wanted to go to Forever 21 to get some boots. And I was like, oh, that's gonna be fun. I haven't been in Forever 21 in years. And so we go into the Forever 21, and it's funny at first. It's like, oh, that shirt says like Taco Tuesday. Or like, there's like this Letterman jacket that says, oh, her on the back, okay. And then you realize like most of these like shirts are just like they have phrases straight out of this like 2015 BuzzFeed listicle, like on fleek. Who the fuck says that anymore, at least? And like you get like it's not as funny anymore, and you just like notice how much of this shit there is in this store. You're just like, oh God, why am I in here? Like this is so much shit, and you realize these stores are all over the country, and then you realize that malls in general are just these big shopping places to shop, and then you get all scared about capitalism and future and climate change and why malls exist in the first place. Why is there a fucking go-kart place in this goddamn mall? And you realize you can't be in here anymore, and you look to your friend and you just incoherently say, I gotta get out of here. And you run into the Newberry Comics and may or may not have stolen a System of a Down CD. Thank you.
Keep it going for Max, yo. You know what? I agree with Max. Weed is great. I agree. Except, where Max smokes weed and goes to the mall, I smoke weed and I don't know what to do. I always have that same problem where I smoke up and I turn on Netflix and I can't think of what I want to watch, and so I just stare at the menu screen for an hour. Like that. Yeah. Anyway, next comedian. Are you ready? Y'all seem ready? Y'all think y'all ready? They're kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie. They're pretty funny. Their name is Ira.
This will come in later. This is not a bottle of bathtub moonshine. I am moving to the level of a prop comedian. So, if anyone here knows me, you probably know me as Ira. If you know me as anything else, then shout out to a fellow survivor of the Montclair, New Jersey public school system. We've been through a lot. Being on a fencing team called the Mounties when our mascot was a bulldog. Well, anyway, I came out as non-binary about 2 years ago and started going by Ira about 6 months ago. And like damn near all trans people, my relationship with my birth name is fraught. In my case, I consider it to be my full name rather than my dead name, and I still dredge it up to use with older, more conservative relatives at work and when I can exploit it for comedy fodder. So, my last name is Linietsky, and I know what you want to say. Ira Linietsky sounds like an elderly, neurotic Jewish man who owns a candy store that's the best kept secret in Brooklyn. The happiest moment of this guy's life was like when he won the New Yorker cartoon caption contest. Basically one of those guys from the Oh Hello show. But I love my name. I'm named after Ira Gershwin because I'm less talented than my little brother, but not bitter about it at all. Also, Ira Levin, author of Rosemary's Baby and The Stepford Wives, in honor of my two greatest fears, pregnancy and getting married to a man. And also NPR's Ira Glass, because I have a nasal, flinty voice and enjoy asking people for money. I have had a few people ask me what Ira is short for. I'll get to that later. Ever since I was a little kid, like since I was 11, before I even knew I was trans, I had a running list of names I would choose if I weren't a girl. And some of these names were questionable. Like one time I wanted to call myself Myrrh, M-Y-R-R-H. You know, in frankincense. Your typical trans noun from nature name, only make it a biblical embalming agent. As a kid, my favorite Christmas carol was We Three Kings of Orient Are. And my favorite lyric was, Myrrh is mine, its bitter perfume, breathes the life of gathering gloom, sorrowing, sighing, bleeding, dying, sealed in the stone cold tomb. Metal. I've had a few people ask me what Ira is short for. I've gotten Irene before, and Amira, and one person even asked me if my name was Elvira. I was like, bitch, if my name was Elvira, I'd never use a nickname. I'd know that shit for all it's worth. There are some traditionally binary names that are so awesome that I understand when trans people reclaim them across gender lines. Like, my dad used to work with a bearded motorcycle riding trans guy named Ursula. I thought this was the coolest shit ever. Men deserve their own Ursulas. This guy's full name, by the way, was Ursula Mann. So at this point, you're probably wondering what this trans person's birth name is. Admit it, you are, and admit it, you hate yourself. All right, you guys ready? It's Maria. Kind of anticlimactic, right? You were expecting some name-berry shit like Mirabella Renetta? Well, I like the name Maria in theory. It just doesn't really feel like mine. I find it too feminine for everyday use. But I love the fact that my parents named me after a song by Stephen motherfucking Sondheim. His name is God. May he rest in peace. But every tritone of that song has been fucking ruined by various creepy old men who would go to the grocery store where I worked. They would see my name tag and just burst into song. I would be like, hello, sir, would you like a deli bag for your rotisserie? Maria! I just met a girl named Maria, and suddenly that name would never be the same to me. You know that feeling when you've got multiple restaurant waiters around you singing happy birthday? It's worse. But I didn't realize how good I had it until I got a new coworker about my age, named Stella. Anytime I would see an old man with a former theater major vibe type heading up to Stella's register, I'd divert him over to mine to spare this poor girl the sight and sound of some geezer dropping to his knees and doing his best Brando impression. Tennessee Williams specified that line should be delivered, and I quote, with heaven-splitting violence. Let me leave it at that. Anyway, Maria might be the ultimate song name. We have West Side Story, we have The Sound of Music, we have Santana, we have Dear Maria, Count Me In. Yes! But the song I'll always hold dear is Maria by Blondie. I put that on all my playlists back in high school because I would pretend Debbie Harry was singing about me and I could literally feel it in my clit. One issue I have with my preferred name is that it doesn't have any good songs. I looked up Ira on Spotify and all I could find were songs from the Irish Republican Army. And one more thing. This is where this prop comes in. I kind of miss having my own cookie. Does anyone remember Goya Maria cookies? They were the shit. So I have invented a new product. Ira cookies. I will be selling them at a huge markup to raise money for my top surgery.
Everyone buy an Ira cookie. I'm not gonna let you out that fucking door if you don't cough up some cash for an Ira cookie, alright? Sorry, that was a lot more aggressive than I anticipated. Anyway, we got 2 comedians left, y'all. No one's even mocked yet. This is amazing. You guys are doing so well, everybody. I remember, this shit can go so wrong. I remember one time I did so bad on stage one time that I got off the stage. No one was laughing, no one was clapping, and everyone could hear as this old lady reached over to give me a fist bump, and she went, "You tried, baby." And then the 2 comedians right after me, they both killed. Yeah, and you know, you can probably imagine seeing 2 comedians kill a room right after you just bombed. That's like watching 2 people fuck your girlfriend better than you. Back to back consecutively. And then when you tried to fuck your girlfriend, she gave you a fist bump and was like, "You tried, baby." Anyway, are y'all ready for the penultimate comedian of the night?
It's
Melody. Melody. I almost said Molly, but Melody comes to the stage.
All right. Can you guys hear me? I can't tell.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you just what?
Maybe hold it a bit closer.
Yeah. Cool. I'm in my vomit era right now. Throwing up a lot lately. It's like too much sensory stuff, anxiety, whatever. I told my friend this because he was trying to invite himself over to like visit me from Ohio. People are from there, I know. It's crazy. He was trying to visit me from Ohio. I was like, oh, don't do it, I'm gonna throw up. He came over anyways, and we went on a walk. It was nice. He traveled through all these states and just to go on a walk with me, and then I threw up 3 times. Yeah, he was really nice about it, but I'm dramatic and we were in public, and so I laid onto the concrete and I said, "Please leave me. I can't just let me die alone." And then he like propped my head up on his leg and he was just like, there. He was like petting me. It was just like, I'm having sensory overload. Why are you petting me right now? It's soothing. So I threw up again. On his foot.
she was like, yeah, what are some of your triggers? I was like, yeah, you know, just sensory input, anxiety, whatever. Tall people. Can't be around them. They're a lot. But she looked at me and she said, have you tried power posing? It's like, no. Later on that night, I know it sounds stupid, but later on that night, I was desperate. I had to run in with a tall person. And he was just there talking to me. I was like, this is interesting, sure, but I'm also having a panic attack, so let's power pose. You know, just kind of like spreading it out, you know, like trying to pretend that I'm tall. And immediately after I did that, the guy just walked away from the conversation. It's like, that worked. So now my plan is to just power pose my way through any anxious situation.
Melody! Yeah?
Also, I just want to apologize about this outfit. It's giving like sexy Shirley Temple. It's making me uncomfortable.
You look great.
I just want to acknowledge.
We like it. You look great.
You look like if Miss Maisel didn't have any confidence.
Oh my God.
Thank you.
And I made that as a compliment.
Is she hot?
Yes.
Yeah.
You got the whole hat thing going on, you look good.
Okay.
No need to apologize for the outfit.
It's my.
The fit is a choice. Don't apologize for it.
Yeah, the choice was let's wear every fuzzy item.
You think I'm apologizing to anyone for these pants? No. Exactly. I got made fun of him for them earlier, and I don't give a shit. I got made fun of him for a person who's wearing a mask still. All right. I'm not listening. You could have one tooth for all I know. All right, we got one more comedian tonight. You all ready? We got one more. One more. I need all the energy. All of it. We are last comedian. Jamie Clark to do it.
Welcome to manhood. Infinite sadness forever. That's what my dad told me when I started puberty. I wake up every day knowing I will never be as funny as my father. And it stings, but I come to terms with it, because he's a funny motherfucker, literally. I don't know if any of you all have dads, but mine, he'll do this thing where he'll just stare at something just beyond repair and he'll be like, yeah, I can fix it. He is an unstoppable handyman. Your door smashed into 67 pieces? Yeah, I can fix it. This fucking thing I found on the sidewalk? Yeah, I can fix it. My marriage of 8 years? Your toilet bowl exploded? Yeah, my parents are divorced. It was actually really, really hard on me. What the fuck was funny about that? Having divorced parents is actually pretty fun, though. I think my favorite part, right? My favorite part is the exchange. Because sometimes from the outside, it looks like human trafficking. Let me paint you a picture. Imagine, if you will, a dimly lit, nearly empty drugstore parking lot. A lone car pulls in, waits for about 5 minutes. The driver is smoking and looking a little too on edge. Then another car pulls in, doesn't fully stop, but it gets up real close to the other car, and out hop 2 tired, disheveled, probably wet children carrying the most random amalgamation of shit you've ever seen. One of them has a dog that looks like if you crossed a crackhead Ewok with Jackie Onassis. And these poor kids, they just get into the car with some guy. And they're in the back seat just struggling against the weight of a suspicious amount of carpet samples. And you're thinking, is this legal? And then you catch a glimpse of a restraining order on the dashboard, and you're like, uh-oh. That was just my childhood, though. It was an average Sunday. I think before the divorce was my golden age. Not because my parents were together, but because I was at that age where it was my God-given right to be a little shit. When I was 6 years old, I was in a martial arts class at the YMCA. I was super cool. And there was one night we were all in the living room watching TV. My mom and my dad were on separate couches because symbolism. And I was in the corner practicing my karate moves. I was all like, wha, cha, whoop-pow. Probably with sound effects included because I was 6 and I thought I was the main character. And finally I'm like, okay, I'm gonna practice my crane kick. This was not something we hadn't learned in martial arts class. But you know, I had been watching Karate Kid, and in my mind, I was Karate Kid. So I'm like stretching it out, and I'm winding up, and I'm like, okay. So I get in position, and I kick my dad right in the nose. And it wasn't a weak kick either. I put my heart and soul into that shit. I was Karate Kid, for Christ's sake. And my mom, she had to leave the room. She almost pissed herself from laughing so hard. I think that was the beginning of the end. And 2 looks crossed my father's face. The first was the knee-jerk straight man reaction of, who wants to get fucked up? And the second was a tender fatherly pride. When he realized it was his 6-year-old child that had just kicked the ever-loving shit out of him. Well, Dad, welcome to manhood.
Jamie, that was so funny. But when you asked if anyone has dads or doesn't have a dad, fucking Ira looked back at me like, you're an asshole, Ira. Just when I thought I could make it through one show without making a dead dad joke, you're a fucking asshole. All right, y'all have been so great. Just thank y'all for sticking around. Thank y'all for having a great show. All right, we're gonna do